Well, hello and welcome back to the Tao Manifesting Tarot, the tarot reading that is really designed for serious people. If you are still looking at the unicorn rainbow model of tarot, this is not the place for you. I have done tarot for over 20 years. In that time, I have found tarot predicts virtually nothing. It makes you feel good, I suppose, but people like to be fooled. They enjoy it. Don't let them know that you're fooling them because they're going to get irritated. Mark Twain said it's easier to fool somebody than it is to convince them they have been fooled. That's ego. Let me live in my little matrix, my little fantasy world where unicorns and rainbows abound. This is not that kind of tarot reading. In the 20 plus years that I've done tarot, I've found out that tarot is the science of potential. It's really focused on the individual. And like all such readings, because I've done astrology for 50 plus years, I've done numerology for 50 plus years, any of those readings, and many more, frankly, do not apply to the majority of people listening. Put 10 people in a room, whether it's a tarot reading, astrology reading, numerology reading, maybe 1 to 2 out of those 10 will have it resonate with them. Okay? 10% usually, maybe if you're lucky, maybe 20%. You know, it works, by the way, the same way for commercials. That's why you see commercials and hear commercials all the time. Because they know it will take a lot to connect with you. And they know that the majority of people who hear those commercials not going to give a damn one way or the other. They know that. Well, it's the same thing with tarot reading, astrology reading, numerology reading. Numerology and astrology are the science of cycles. If you know the cycles, you can kind of determine where the energy is going. Now, it may not show up exactly the same way as it did at the beginning of whatever cycle we're talking about, but it will be very similar. And the reason it won't be the same is, let's say in the case of astrology, planets are constantly in rotation, constantly spinning, constantly going around the sun. Their positions are different than they were at the beginning of any given cycle. For example, 1776, Pluto was essentially where it is today. Little difference, a couple of degrees. Instead of Capricorn, we are now in Aquarius, but when we signed the declaration, Pluto was just about in Aquarius, not quite there. But because it was in Capricorn, it talked government, and Pluto is evolution. What do we have here? Evolution in terms of government. In fact, the planet Uranus was also in the same position that it is. And planet Uranus is connected with revolution because it was discovered in the 1700s when we had all kinds of revolutions in the world, ours, the French, and others. So what we're seeing here now, 250 years, it will be 250 years exactly, by the way, the birthday for the United States on July 4th, 2026. So 250 years later, we have the same kind of energy. Evolution, revolution. Evolution, revolution. See what's going on in the country? Some very, very serious stuff. And complicating everything in this cycle of cycles of cycles of cycles is the fact that we now have the eclipse season started off at the new moon back a couple of weeks ago, got a full moon coming up in a day. That will simply amplify. Venus retrograde, Mercury retrograde. We can't make heads or tails out of it. We're desperately trying to find some kind of sense, some sensibility, our way through things. We want change, the revolution, evolution idea from 1776 that's moved into this time period. We want change. We need change. We, in effect, demand change. But we're not clear exactly on how that can be done and where exactly we want the change and how we want the change to be done. I think once we get into May, we'll have a little bit better idea. But as I am observing now, I am seeing things that very, very, very much concern me, that lead me to the position that the American colonists had in 1776: no representation, no taxation without representation. In other words, you guys aren't paying attention to me. You don't give a damn about me. I'm just an appendage. You don't care. You're going to do what you want to do. That was what we said to England. Well, guess what people in America are saying to the American government? You don't give a damn what we do. You don't care about what we do. George Carlin was right. It's a big club. You and I aren't in it. We're beginning to understand that. We were supposed to have all this information that was supposed to be let out to the public. We're not getting the full information about the congressional budgets, the Doge. We're not getting the information about the Epstein files. We're not getting information about a whole bunch of things. Why? It was supposed to be job one, day one, nothing. So here we stand in this astrological soup, and we're like, what the hell is going on? Again, you are, in terms of an energy, you are being taken back to 1776. That revolutionary act in 1776 was preceded by a couple of decades worth of crap going on. And this stuff just built up. And that's what's going on now. We've had this crap going on for decades. We were able to keep our head above water, or we thought we were. It is now obvious. Doesn't make any difference who the political party is. They don't care. That's not their job to care about us. And they're not going to be honest, and they're not going to be upfront, and they're not going to be transparent. This is building. I suspect, looking at the cycles, not too far down the road, we could get a combination of revolution, evolution in this country. And if this current administration falls down again, all bets are off. So that's the energy. Now let's get back to the tarot. How does this impact you? What can you do in the middle of this cosmic stew? That's what this reading is all about. Okay? We want you to manifest. I want you to be able to make the pictures in your head. Don't depend on a computer, a smartphone, anything. Artificial intelligence. This artificial intelligence thing is a scam, and I'm telling you, I can just, if it comes to fruition, humanity is finished. No two ways about it. We've opened up Pandora's box. We're in a race to destruction. We can't wait to kill our humanity. And that is the point of today's tarot reading. So I hope it resonates with you. So let's get to it. We got 4 tarot cards. One in the middle is the Oracle card. It sets the mood for the reading. And the card today is Orphaned. That's how people are in the world, especially in America, because that's what we're focused on. That's where I'm doing this from. We feel orphaned. We feel left behind. Our government doesn't give a damn. Doesn't care. They've not exhibited anything. They've never stood up for anything. They said the words, but the actions, non-existent. And people keep buying the words because there's nothing else to grab onto. But the words are empty. The promises are empty, and you feel orphaned. The number up in the right-hand corner is 5. 5 is change. I'm telling you, change is in the wind. And if the current administration stumbles, all bets are off. I could see the United States of America and Canada kind of blending in some ways, some provinces becoming states or states becoming provinces or whatever the hell the difference is. I can see the boundaries changing. I can see the states changing allegiance. People are at the point right now where they're going, that's enough. Going to be some heavy-duty changes. Again, that's why the astrology is great, and then you tie in the tarot, you can focus the energy. It's phenomenal. That's why these readings are so serious and so important. They're not talking about superficial things, what somebody's wearing, what's the latest trend, what my neighbors are doing. Who cares? Focused on you and your ability to create pictures in your head to manifest. Real important because it gives you the only power that you have right now over the robots. But right now you're feeling orphaned. You have to save yourself. Wow, heavy duty. The meme for today is loneliness is the absence of connection, not company. That's exactly the point. We're surrounded by people, but we do not connect to their spirits. We're simply algorithms. We're simply numbers stacked somewhere in a computer or computers. That's what's being stripped away, taken away. That's why it's important for you to save yourself. Quit feeling orphaned. Start to manifest. Let's begin. First card, two of cups. Twos are always decisions. Cups are some kind of an emotional attachment. Could be love, could be romantic, anything. But what the Two of Cups is saying is it's time to make a decision about you. It's time to make a decision about community. Commune with yourself. Save yourself. Because everything that you have depended on has walked away from you. You are orphaned or feeling orphaned. But you can't save yourself with this tarot energy. Something new is going to be coming in. That's what the Knight of Swords says. Knights always bring gifts. Swords are truths, beliefs. I suspect by the time we get into summer, a lot of stuff is going to surface. May not be pleasant, may even be disheartening. But I think it's going to allow people to start to be free. Remember, we're talking about the energy of 1776 or surrounding it. Revolution, evolution. We're there right now. A lot of people signed on with this new administration thinking, well, the other one offered nothing. This is my only choice. I got to get on board. But when they're finding out that they don't even have any choice in this new administration, they'll drop it. Because so far, nothing from any of the people. RFK silent on our health. Nothing going on with Tulsi and her situation. Patel, nothing. We can't get anything. Nothing is moving, nothing is changing, but people are saying the words. Something, that Knight of Swords is going to bring something that will allow you to begin to connect with yourself, and that's the first place. Next card over is the Ten of Pentacles. Pentacles are things that we value, our value system. The Ten of Pentacles says very simply, what you're doing is connecting. It's kind of a legacy. What are you going to leave to the people who follow? It's important because it will impact what you have now. A good, solid value system. Now the card is in reverse, meaning you know that you have to work on the value system. It's just how do you do it? Because we've brought on an administration that says that they're going to tackle it. So far, we're getting bumpkiss. That grace period will run out. If it does, all bets are off. Revolution, evolution, back to 1776. But there is the possibility, the thing that keeps us going, the thing that keeps us connected, the things that allow us to save ourselves and not feel orphaned anymore, is this self-respect. Going back to the meme, loneliness is the absence of connection, not company. We have people all around us, but we're not touching. I'm not saying that human beings have ever been that touchy-feely, but we've been connected to an ideal, an idea, a person, people. Our humanity was still allowed to exist. But in this past week alone, I've seen two occasions, or heard about two occasions, where the administration is literally attacking our First Amendment right to speak, to demonstrate peacefully for political purposes. And the guy who is the president now and sponsoring an attack on our First Amendment rights said in his first time around, who would ever allow freedom of speech? That's stupid. Not an exact quote, but if you were to find that quote, you would find it's really close. He had no respect for our ability to speak. We didn't have any other choices. This was the way we had to go if we wanted to change the system, change the energy, reconnect with ourselves, not feel orphaned. And at this point, we're still feeling orphaned because that connection is not there, and it's obvious. If you're willing to barrel into the First Amendment, you're willing to just attack and destroy our First Amendment, everything's off the table. So, as I said, I would give them between now and July the 4th, 2026, their 250th anniversary as a country. You got to show that you care about the middle class, you care about the poor. Doesn't mean give them stuff, because when you give somebody something, you take away a part of their spirit. But you got to give them a reason, you got to give them a goal, you got to give them a fair playing field. But between now and July the 4th, 2026, I really feel strongly that we are going to try to reconnect. We're going to try to save ourselves. We're going to try to quit being orphaned. Let's hope we can make the connection. You can begin right now if you are resonating with this. That's the reading for today. Back again tomorrow with another Manifested Tarot reading. Between now and the next time we get together, peace and blessings.